Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is a new thing I'm trying. I'm gonna try recording a in-car podcast. Now, what is the in-car podcast? Well, you see, this is gonna be kind of short and snacky, about 20 minutes maybe, and it's basically me while I'm driving my car to and from the 9 to 5 that gets me the paycheck currently. So right now I want to talk about unique game ideas and my impressions of them. Now, the thing that sparked this idea, and the reason why I'm talking about it currently, is because I just played the Devolver digital demo, or the Devolver digital Expo game. Now, why is this important? What does this do? What is it about? Well, to kind of go into what it is you playing as a nameless, faceless, voiceless person who is just decided to go to Devolver Digital Expo in some unnamed convention hall, which has been canceled because of the fact that the world's on fire. And that in and of itself, just on the surface, was enough to get me to go to play this game. Like, I wanted to see what tricks this game had up its sleeve. Your main weapon is a t-shirt gun. Like, infinite t-shirt gun. And I love it. It's so awesome. Because you don't have any human enemies to deal with. You don't have it's kind of a first-person shooter, but more focused on stealth. Because, you see, you're trying to not only stay alive, stay in the convention hall long enough to see everything there is to see, but also, you're being hunted by security bots and pestered by a self-aware AI. The artificial intelligence definitely knows you're there, definitely knows you shouldn't be there, and is actively attempting to stop you. Now, I missed out on a whole section of it because when I played through it, I skipped a part that I was probably supposed to not skip. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go this way. It'll be fine. And so I didn't get all of the secrets that I was supposed to probably get for the entire game. But that's fine. I don't know what it did for me, but I got to see that Devolver Digital was putting out, and again, this is why this was a unique unique idea that I love. They basically had you go and find the trailers for the games that they're going to be putting out in the coming year. As such, that involves you not getting caught and going to each booth that it has been elaborately set up as you'd expect not only a digital rendering, but a real-life booth to be set up. That hurt. I just drove past a pair of hats on the side of the highway that I just kind of glanced over and noticed, and I think one of them said NWO. So, yeah, no, that's a part of my day. It'll probably be there forever, or at least until they come and clean the streets. That kind of hurts. I'm an old school. I'm definitely an Attitude Era WWF WWE guy. Like I didn't really get into WCW, but still NWO. That's awesome. Moving back to what we were talking about, everything in this area was kind of a top tier, as you'd expect from Devolver Digital, high budget rendering of what they probably would have done at a convention if the world wasn't on fire. So that being said, I do have some gripes. Like, I really didn't think that they needed to have booths that had no functionality at all in them, like no secrets, no nothing, because you kind of already expected in some sort of way for everything you're doing there to have an impact. As such, it's kind of a little frustrating that not everything did. It controlled rather smoothly, with your WASD being your movement, your mouse being your look, and the click being the shoot, as is traditional in FPS of the PC-bound area. To continue expounding on things that don't have anything to do with the game that I'm talking about, I don't know if I'm going to be editing these. I don't know if I'm going to be putting these up with any kind of filter or anything, but I'd like to try it. I think that'd be interesting. I'd like to get into a little bit of like you see a wave scope, and hopefully I've already done this whenever I upload this. It's gonna be odd, but let's see how you guys like the episode. Now, to get back to Devolver Digital, their branding was everywhere, including just the imaginative play space that they had. Two spots in particular really reached out and grabbed my attention and made me go, man, I wish that was a thing. Or I wish the world weren't on fire so I could have seen somebody doing this thing. The first was it was for a thing called Fall Man. Kind of a very colorful battle royale-esque game with, faceless, cosplaying little minion-esque, but with real, better skin texture kind of people. And that being said, I loved the colorful nature of that game, but to get into that booth, you had to do a little bit of platforming on. If it had been in real life, would have probably had to have been very, very padded and a lot more accessible to guys like me who haven't done a whole lot of calisthenics in a very long time. But the exit, the entrance was a tube slide, or rather not tube slide, just a gently sloping ride on a slide, and the exit was you had to jump on a trampoline to get to the top to take another jump off. So you had to bounce on a bounce pad to get up to the top of the wall to jump off the other side. That I thought was beautiful. I would have loved to have seen it realized in real life. Again, it probably would have involved a crash pad that was pretty big because I'm a pretty big guy. Hopefully I don't get copyright infringement for that, or any of the stuff that's been playing on while I haven't been paying attention to it. But the other rather interesting section was after you finished watching the trailer for I think it was Shadow Warriors 3, which looked kind of cool. You had to go through the demo area, which every booth had areas that looked like they would have been set up for people to sit down and play. And that was another thing that I loved, was that every area looked like it would have been in a convention. You know, like, oh, I'm going to go check out the thing for Serious Sam 4. There are areas that are set up to play the game. Pretty sweet. But it had a zip line to get out of the Buddhist or Eastern inspired temple. I loved it. But well, that brings us to the end of the very first episode of Car Talk, or whatever I end up calling this. So thank you for listening.